Welcome back to Footballin with Ben Roethlisberger. My name is Spence, and as always, I am joined here with two-time Super Bowl champion and renowned pepper farmer, Ben Roethlisberger.
Pepper farmer?
People don't, I mean, I would say, I typically say people don't know, but I think at this at this point in time in the show, people know that you grow peppers, and they're very good. They're very hot.
They do get hot.
You make them spicy.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. The millions watching around the world live. Sunday Night Football is just getting ready to start. We have the Jets and the Chiefs. In case anyone didn't know, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are a thing. Sure.
What?
I know. Did I just break the news?
You talking about the singer?
Did I
did.
Just tell everybody this? Oh boy.
Yeah, man, you got to check.
You got
to check with these details.
We said we were going to try and figure out how many times they were going to show Taylor tonight in the booth. I'm saying my number is going to be 10.
I'm thinking 10 first quarter because there's a commercial on right now about just whatever network this is on.
NBC.
There's the one. Swift watch.
Holding her drink up.
Yeah.
Scream. I mean, she's like a diehard fan now, maybe? I wonder.
Yeah, if she's dating dude, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, hey.
Listen, all right, so we got one. You got 10? I'll go.
That's my guess. I was going to say 10 to 12, but I'll just say 10.
I'll say 10 first quarter.
I just think it's going to I think this game could get ugly early, could get really ugly really quick.
So what else are we going to show except for Aaron Rodgers healthy on the sidelines? Oh, not healthy, healing. There he is.
Walk around.
Who gets more airtime, Aaron Rodgers or Taylor Swift?
I don't know.
He's throwing a ball. He said.
I think I don't know. I just think that the game's gonna be a blowout, so they're not gonna show her much because Travis isn't gonna do much.
Sure.
It's just my thing.
But I'm saying if it's a blowout, they're gonna need more. They're gonna need more.
I know. I hear that part of it.
On the production side.
Yes, I understand that. Does Aaron Rodgers have tattoos on his arm? Has he always had tattoos on his arm?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never
seen his arms.
I've never looked at Aaron Rodgers' arms.
Saw what looked like bruises or tattoos. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, everybody.
This is riveting content.
Very out of there. Thank you again last week to Jerome Bettis for being on the show. If you haven't seen that one yet, go check it out. A lot of fun, a lot of awesome stories. You get to find out why he was called the Bus, which I had no idea about.
Yeah, I learned that as well.
Fun stories and just a great time to having him here. So thank you, Jerome, for being here last week. No special guests this week, just us. We're going to recap. We'll recap a little bit of Raiders. A little bit. It's been a little while. I forget that one a little bit. And then obviously today was at Houston. And so here's the funny thing. Benjamin had a golf tournament today, and he teed off at 140. And so I shut my phone went on do not disturb.
You went dark.
I went dark because I didn't want to know it. So we recorded the game. And we're basically we're going to come home and we're going to watch the game together before we do the show. So I want to have some content to talk about and have some understanding. And so we literally just finished it an hour ago.
Yep.
And but yeah, my phone was off and I turned it on. I got so many messages and ESPN alerts, and I had no idea what even happened around the league. Because
you shut the whole thing down.
Every time my watch vibrated when I was out, I'm like, nope, don't even look, don't even peek.
Well, I got the call, so you called me, and the first thing I said when I picked up, I was like, "Are you watching this?" He's like, "I'm at a golf thing. I'm shutting down." And it was like that. Don't try to reach me. I'm shutting down.
Yep. And so anyway, we watched it just a little bit ago, and that was.
Okay, so we'll jump into this. We'll have a section of this show.
Sorry.
No. But I want to get just an overview before, because I think we'll just start a beer off and just kind of kick it. Okay. But we are going to jump obviously into it and break it down, and there's plenty to talk about. But just having fresh off of watching it, what's your initial feeling? Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You can't just stop it at one thing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's save it then. Let's save it to it.
I don't know. I don't know what to think. I have so much to think, but I don't know what to think.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let me pour you a beverage here.
I do know as you're pouring that I just talked to some guys on the team that they're stuck again in Houston. They're having plane problems, and everyone I'm sure knows that last week they had problems coming home from.
What are they flying Spirit? what are we doing here, buddy?
What we're doing. Spirit might not have the problems that they're having. I don't even know what they're on. But last week, obviously, they had got landed in Kansas City, had to stay the night, and then didn't get back till later. And then today, I heard that they are stuck in Houston, and they are. Last I heard was they have to wait for a plane. They've been on the runway for a while. There's Kelsey. Okay, I bet you. So Taylor.
There's one. Wait for it.
Hold it.
And
13 minutes into the first quarter. 13 minutes left. Oh, well, they're going to get
She
there.
might not have been like a clear shot. It wasn't a clear shot. She was grabbing a sandwich.
She might have said something too, like, "Hey, if you're ever going to show me, make sure it's nothing embarrassing." Right. I've done that before when they've been like, "Hey, we want to show your family." I'm like, "That's fine, but if you do anything that embarrasses my wife or something, like, and she gets mad, then it's going to be
I'm gonna come see you.
It's not good.
I'm gonna come see you."
But anyway, so yeah, the plane. I was told they said they had to wait. There's Kelsey again. They had to wait like 3 hours. They've already been on the ground for 6 or something. They had to wait for 3 hours for a new plane to come in. Then they're going to get on it and go. And someone said they were going to a hotel to wait. And then I got a text from one of the coaches saying, they said that our plane should be good. We're going to try and go. I would have said, nope. Nope. I'm going to come. I'm going to check on the bus. We got a Greyhound. Yeah. We got a Amtrak. Anything else. So I don't know what's going on. But 2 weeks in a row, the poor Steelers can't even get home from a game. At least last week after a win. This one's after a pretty bad loss, but we can talk about that as we go.
It's not the same plane, right? They just got one plane.
I don't know. No, they don't just have one plane, but
yeah. Okay. Well,
it smells nice.
Yeah. On a lighter note, this we had the first 2 beers we're gonna do actually sent in by Devlin Rambo.
It's not his last name. Is that John Rambo's son?
Yeah. Yeah. So his name.
Please tell your dad, Rambo, I said hello.
Yeah, I love his work. Devlin Rambo from San Diego.
Oh.
Yeah, and he says he's including 2 beers to try. This one is called the Pliney the Elder from Russian River Brewing Company.
We've had Russian River Brewing before, right?
Have we?
That sounds super familiar.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe we've had this one. Well,
not this one, but I'm just. I feel like I've heard of Russian River Brewing.
Well, this is a description from Russian River site.
Okay.
It is Pliney the Elder is brewed with Amarillo, Centennial, CTZ, and not to be confused with CTE, and Simcoe hops. It's a well balanced with malts, hops, alcohol, slightly bitter with a fresh hop aroma, a floral, citrus, and pine. Best enjoyed fresh.
Yes.
That is why we make it in such limited supply.
I smell the pine.
Yeah. There it is. Pliney the Elder.
It's Amarillo by morning?
Yep. So we'll see what you got there. Such a good song. That's a classic, dude. That's like anytime it comes on, that's a good song.
Bart, if you need me to sing for you this week, I got you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because our boy's coming.
Yeah.
Mercy Me, Crowder, everyone coming this Thursday at PPG Paints Arena.
Yes.
We're going to go, be in support. I might get on stage and sing a little bit. We'll see.
You won't do it.
Anyone out there that is a fan of Mercy Me or Crowder or just want to listen to good music and feel the presence of the Lord, head over to PPG.
Yeah, this Thursday. We'll be there.
We will be.
Yep. You said you were going to sing, what, like 2 or 3 songs, right? Yeah,
I don't want to like show up Bart.
Right, because it's his show.
It is his show. He's got a good voice.
It's
okay.
Yeah. It'll do.
It's okay.
Yeah.
If I get up there, I really feel like they may ask me to keep singing, know? And then
it'll be Mercy You.
Mercy Me.
Yeah, right. Instead of me, right?
Yeah. And so, I can only imagine that, if I was up there singing, fans would like me up there.
Yeah.
So probably won't this trip, maybe next one.
Yeah. Well, even if you do, I think, or even if you don't, I think it'll be a great show. Yeah, still be a great show.
Last time they were here, Crowder actually jumped into my pool. They came over after the concert. He jumped into my pool in November. No, October. I don't know when it was. It was late.
It was cold.
It was cold. The pool's still open for some reason, and he decides to jump in at like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So
right before their like bus call.
Crowder, no pool this time.
What do you think about Pliney? So you like it, huh?
I do. Pliney the Elder.
Oh yeah, this has got you over it.
Very good.
Over it.
Oh, it's Piney. Not to be confused with
Pliney.
Pliney.
Yeah. But yeah, how would you rate that out of 10?
Hold on, one more sip.
Yeah. No, take your time. We got the dogs down here joining us tonight.
Yep, there they both are. Both dogs are down here.
That's a really, really good IPA.
That's hi Z. Hey buddy. I like that. 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it is a West. I mean, I know it's from California, but I don't know if it is a West Coast style IPA. But it tastes very West Coast IPA.
Which I'm still a little confused with. And I know I've asked this question many times. Why does the West Coast taste like pine, and the East Coast tastes like pineapple fruit?
That's a good question, and I'm gonna let somebody way more educated than me explain that to you in the comments.
I like that.
That's very good.
I like, again, that to me, that's an awesome. I don't want to call IPAs like a fall because like you can drink them all the time, but I love those that piney like. Right now, as it starts to get cool.
That's a very good point, though, man. Because I feel like when you get in the fall, you do get the Oktoberfest, which we'll do next week. I mean, technically, it's going on right now, but I know you don't
not always love them. I don't always. Sometimes I do, but not always love them.
But I feel like there's a spectrum of Oktoberfest beer. So you have the actual Oktoberfest beer, but then you get like the Vienna lagers, you get the German Pilsner. So there's like a handful to choose from. But I feel like when you get in the fall, you do that, or you get all the pumpkin joints, which I can't really get down.
The pumpkins are a little.
But this is a great alternative to that because it does feel like you can flannel, fire, kicking it.
Yeah, that's sitting outside with the buddies, maybe having a cigar around the fire. Hay ride.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it. It's good.
Well, it's 8%. So it's more of
really?
that's more of a night.
Well, that's a big boy too. You finish that guy off.
Buddy, you're getting tucked
might
in.
Have one and done.
Yeah. So
one and done.
Well, yeah, I think it's very good.
Yellow belly.
Yeah, I think that might be. I'll do like 7.5 on that, man. I wouldn't drink. I don't know if I'm drinking that whole thing because I'm a little guy, but I'll go halvesies, bro.
It's good. It's not. Yeah. It doesn't. If you that surprised me with the 8. It doesn't taste like that.
It does not at all.
So well done, Russian River Brewing.
Yeah, and Rambo.
Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo got one more for us, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
So you want to just jump into Houston, man? That seems probably the freshest, and then we can maybe backtrack to week 3 at the Raiders because that way we can end on a happy note because I think there were glimmers there. Or does it make more sense to go chronological? You tell me. You're the professional.
It doesn't matter. I don't. Obviously, this one's more fresh in my mind.
Let's go here then. We'll start week 4, Houston.
Yeah, I mean it. The way the game starts, obviously we won the toss. We elect to defer. And I was a fan of deferring. I didn't mind it at all because I always thought if you went out there or if the defense went out first and they go 3 and out and you get the ball, you're like, and then you go score or whatever. Like it's just you give your defense a chance to like set the tempo and kind of put a stake in the ground. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work. I always thought there was nothing better than them going 3 and out, then you getting the ball and you going and scoring. Unfortunately, with this team, in my opinion, the Switz just texted me. Look in the middle of a podcast. Switz, come on, Switz. I'll text you back in a little bit, bud. Your defense is the strong suit, obviously. So I don't have a problem putting them on the field. I don't. I did not expect them, especially with all the injuries they had on their offensive line. I was thinking to myself, if Pittsburgh takes care of the ball, the defense will take care of what they're supposed to be taking care of, and they might get a couple turnovers. Like there's a chance that just like in my opinion the week before in Oakland and with the Raiders, Vegas Raiders, that the defense will do everything they're supposed to do and they'll take care of the game. They'll win it. I did not expect them to drive down, obviously drive down the field the opening series and score a touchdown. Like that was mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, no one expected that.
But that being said, it's one series and I thought the Steelers put together a good drive their first series. And then I think the turnover was the first series, Kenny's the deep ball. Yep. And it was a good read by Kenny, actually. They were looking for a quarters coverage, got the safety down. I'd like to see the receiver give a little bit of an outside move to create more space, but I thought Kenny, he maybe could have thrown it across the field a little more. He ended up throwing a little bit behind, like not behind, but like on this side where the receiver kind of had to jump. And Steve Nelson made a great play. Yeah. I mean, he made a phenomenal play, went up and took it away. Maybe take a little air off it, put it out there a little more. Just by looking at it quickly on the replay. But they get the turnover and they go down the field again, and literally, I'm thinking to myself, like, no one's stopping that. I mean, this game's going to get ugly. Mm-hmm. The defense is got to do something, and they've got to make a stop. And finally, they did. They start holding to 3, mm-hmm. and that's all you can ask for. I mean, the Houston's moving the ball. They're getting good field position, and it's kind of like I felt like the Steelers kept getting that old bend but don't break. Sure. Right? You kept holding a field goal, and literally, I'm telling Benjamin, I'm telling Ashley, like, if they can just do anything on offense, they'll be fine. Like, the defense is actually not playing bad. Yeah. They're on the field. At the end of the game, you look at the totality of the game, they're on the field for a long time. Sure. That's hard to do. But all in all, the defense wasn't playing that bad. Mm-hmm. The thing I noticed was that didn't happen a lot for the Steelers defense was they didn't push them, get them behind the chains, the Houston behind the chains very often. Even if they didn't get much on first down, it was like they got 0, and it's 2nd and 10. Mm-hmm. The Steelers felt like they were doing some good things on offense throughout the game at times, big run here, play here. But then it was like all of a sudden it's -8, -6. Sack, tackle for loss, whatever it is, and now all of a sudden you're behind the chains. And coming back from going to 2nd 18 or whatever it might be, that's not easy to do.
Right.
And so it just felt so tough, and I just was desperate for the Steelers offense to do something. And you saw glimpses of Naj. You had a couple big runs. Now some of it's second half because they did nothing, and no one did anything in the first half. Yeah. The offense. And I mean, I think the 2 running backs were leading receivers. Yep. Or Jalen and Naj. Yep. Naj had a couple, big runs, albeit late, but still was able to get running. He ran hard sometimes. Had a couple actually, I would say, losses. They were going to lose 4 or 5 yards in the backfield. And he ends up getting 20. Mm-hmm. Oh, big boy can't run. Just the whole synopsis. I mean, we can get into more detail because we got to talk about the 4th down play. But it just the fact that your running backs, your leading receivers, and nothing really happens. And then Kenny gets hurt, and Mitch has got to come in, and the defense just got worn down. I think they did an unbelievable job on TJ. And Alex, was able to make a couple disruptive plays. But listen, you have to do that. TJ is the best player on the field, either side of the ball. And you have to put 2 people on him. Yeah. You saw last week, in my opinion, against the Raiders, they did some chipping and some help, but they just said a couple times, like, no, we're just going to go 1. Mm-hmm. That's dumb because TJ's that good. Yeah. And so today I feel like you saw Houston, like, making it hard on TJ. TJ was, like, just right there. I mean, he was so close at times to making a play. The ball just got – and I think he definitely – I would say this. I felt like there are a lot of times that he made Stroud a little anxious, a little nervous. Like, okay, I had to get the ball out a little quicker than I wanted to because TJ's coming. Definitely. Which is what – if you can't get home, at least that presence – it is what it is, but it just felt like they did such a good job of putting bodies on TJ to make it just him have to run the hump a little bit more or go through an extra body. And that's what you have to do. If you want to have a chance to win the football game, you've got to find a way to stop TJ Watt. Yeah, 100%. Do you think that they might have discovered and displayed a blueprint to be able to minimize his impact for other teams? Oh, what a touchdown. Chiefs just scored, by the way. Yeah, Chiefs just scored a touchdown. There's 2. Taylor count. A blueprint. Well, I think if you have half a brain, you got to know that you got to block TJ Watt. And TJ doesn't always allow you to block him either. Not that he allowed him to block today, but I mean, they're throwing a lot of bodies at him.
And I'll add a caveat to that question because TJ's the kind of guy that like, oh, that might work this week, but it won't work next week.
He's a professional.
Yeah.
He's going to find, okay, I'm going to find a weakness. Now, we got Baltimore next week. I don't know what it has in terms of like linemen, injuries, healthy, who's playing, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, kudos to Houston for trying to slow down the baddest man in the building. Yeah, I said I know JJ was in there, but I'm going to say it, TJ.
JJ will say that now. He's been saying that.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just thought that was, the difference in the game that they were able to slow down TJ. Because TJ, he wrecks the game. Oh, now they're putting a Taylor Swift commercial up, of course.
Well, she got a movie coming out now.
Oh, does she?
And that was the third Taylor Watch. Dude, we can't keep a Taylor Watch. I'm disgusting myself. And I'm a fan of Taylor Swift. Swifties.
Yeah, it's not a negative on Taylor.
Yeah, Swifties are definitely not watching this show.
No, yeah. But, like a this is it, like a Michael Jackson thing, like a tour.
Yeah. I went to the Eras tour. It was awesome. But I'll say that, so there wasn't a whole lot of positives I think we can take from the offense in this particular performance. One thing that did stand out, you mentioned it, Najee was running. I thought this was probably the best he's been running since the beginning of the season. Was that hopeful for you? Do you feel like they were just able to pick apart the defense? Or what would you contribute his ability to turn it up this game?
Again, I think he ran hard. I thought he turned some negative plays into positive plays. He had a great catch. I also, I put a little asterisk by it because it was the second half. Sure. They're not giving up big plays. They're going to be smart. But is it something he can build on? Yeah, I think so. And I'd like to see him build on it. And listen, I don't think, other than the fourth, I mean, without going through every play call, bit by bit, I thought Canada and the offense, Canada did a good job of like trying to do different things. They tried to get Kenny on the run. They tried to throw screens. They tried to do some different things. So that's what you want to do. You're not going to get kind of caught in that that look of just doing just this. They tried to do some different things. It just didn't work for whatever reason. Now then you start asking, is it, do you need new play designs or do you need new guys being in there? Dan Moore goes down early. And so I had to reevaluate, look at what the left tackle did there. Mm-hmm. Like I said, other than the 4th and 1 play call, I thought, it wasn't awful. You get injuries to Pat. When you lose that guy, that's not a good thing. But I feel like every time they're getting him the ball, it's like they're trying to throw a tight end screen to him, and it's -4 or 5. I know they tried some other things. I did see 1 or 2 times that Kenny, I thought, didn't pick the right guy to throw it to. There were a couple of times that maybe there was different guys were open, but again, that's Monday morning quarterback, and I'm watching from a chair.
Yeah.
Plenty of guys I missed too. So hopefully Kenny's okay. I know he got hurt, his knee on that same play. Pat as well, Dan Moore. So we'll have to see. It's not getting easier. I mean, they got Baltimore coming to town next week. So I don't know.
So you mentioned the 4th and 1 play. Obviously, the entire city of Pittsburgh is watching that play get called.
Nobody's happy.
And I mean, dude,
nobody's happy.
I almost woke. My daughter was napping. I stood up from my couch and yelled at my TV.
Go ahead.
So my question, because when I came over here, you had mentioned something that was interesting. It was a perspective I didn't have, and so I watched that. And I'm saying it's 4th and 1. Mm-hmm. Literally anything else, any other play. Yep. Just blindly grab one. Let's run this one. But you had mentioned a perspective that I thought was very interesting. That made a little bit more sense. I still probably would not have chosen that play, but it did make me appreciate how that play could have gotten called. About the comfortability of certain plays, maybe somebody having.
So if I just go, I'm just gonna throw out a bunch of different stuff on this. Okay. Sure. It may be all over the place, but it's going to end up being just a bunch of thoughts, both positive and negative on that particular play.
Okay.
I hated the play call. Okay. Probably 99.9% of Pittsburgh hated the play call. When they came out, when they called timeout, I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's QB sneak, it's Naj up the middle because he's been running pretty hard, or if you really want to get creative with it, sell it like you're going to run it because everyone in the building thinks you're going to run it, and go with a real hard play action and take a shot up over top. We used to do that on fourth down a lot. I hit AB at times. I've hit Eli. I've hit almost every receiver. You have one guy go deep, one guy go across. The Raiders did it to us last week. 4th and 1, they hit Devontae Adams for a touchdown. Yeah. Same thought. It's everyone's up in the line, everyone's playing run. Everyone's playing run, and that happens. And so I'm like, those are your options. It has to be those 3 things.
Yeah.
And they come out in shotgun, and I'm like, oh, this isn't like maybe they're gonna draw them off sides.
Sure.
Because you can always do that too.
Sure.
Or maybe they're gonna shift, do something. And they snap the ball, and I see they're running like a little choice route, and I'm just like, oh no! I don't believe it. Of course, Kenny gets sacked. He probably had the backside in route potentially, but again, that's us looking back at it on film. He, when it rains, it pours. He gets hurt his knee. I don't know what. Hopefully, nothing. We're praying for him. That nothing's too serious. But I'm just like, okay. So there's my as I'm thinking about it, okay. Now let me break into this a little more. To play the other side of the coin, when you go into a game Saturday night or the night before a game, you go through the play sheets. Okay, you will pick your top 2 or 3, 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, 3rd and longs. Okay. All the quarterbacks are in there, quarterback coach, offensive coordinator. And it's like, okay, which is your favorite? Okay, you like this one, you like this one, you like this one. Okay. That way, when you're in the situation, you're calling plays that you really like, right? There's your Swifty.
4.
Okay. There's your plays that you like. Yep. You also pick your favorite goal line plays. You also pick your favorite short yardage plays.
Sure.
And so maybe Kenny said on 3rd and 4th and 1, this is my favorite play. Now, obviously, it can always be overruled by the coach, like, I want this or we want this, but maybe that was his play. Maybe.
Potentially.
Again, I'm just throwing out, I'm trying to hit everything.
Right. And you're saying this with no inside knowledge.
No knowledge whatsoever, other than I'm just knowing what I've been through.
Right.
The other thing that you talk about is, okay, in those situations, you give your best player the ball. You put the ball in his hands. Like if it's end of the game, you're trying to win it, I'm going to give it to my best player. So maybe in that moment, Mike or Canada or whoever's deciding these things, maybe Kenny went over and said, I want the ball.
Yeah.
And not sneaking, I want the ball in my hand to throw it. And maybe Mike said, okay, you're our best player. Maybe he is, and that's maybe that's what happened too. Maybe he said I want it. Maybe before the timeout they were going to run a different play.
Sure.
Maybe they were going to sneak it, and then they talked about it during the timeout. They saw something. There's a lot of what ifs. I just did not like coming to shotgun and really like limiting yourself, especially how hard Naj was running and get it down there, because at least give yourself a chance to do it that way. Now, obviously, if they convert it, everyone's like, yay.
Genius.
But,
yeah,
man, you didn't give yourself much options.
Yeah, no, I felt as if the emotions I were feeling was I was unified with all of Steelers Nation, and our frustration, but more confusion. That, like I said, that perspective helped me understand how that could have been called, because that was my first. I was more like, and again, listen, man, I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. I'm just a fan over here eating chicken wings, enjoying the show. But the moment I saw that, I was like confused and frustrated. And when you explained that, I'm like, all right, man, listen, I'm going to trust that you all been working on something all week. And when it pans out the way it pans out, that's when you're like, oh, see, I told you, man.
And that's the thing too, is the play looked like, I don't know their play. Their playbook has changed. I was told that when I left, Matt really changed a lot of things. Okay. And that's fine. It's his offense. You know, whatever he wants. The play looked very familiar in the sense of a play. Like, okay, like it looked like a little choice route. It looked like the outside guy was running like a bench or a semi route. The backside was running a little in to beat cover two. So it looked very similar to what probably a lot of people run. So I can't imagine that that's like it didn't feel like a specialty play. 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, like some of those plays, like you have specialty plays. You have moments where it's like, even if it was like a triple reverse, like something where it's like, okay, this is a unique situation for a unique play. To me, it looked like that play was a very basic play that they probably have either ran before or could have run before or whatever, you know?
Sure.
So, but again, it's all from an outsider perspective. It's all from someone watching from home. I remember sitting there with my mouth open, like what? Like they're in the shotgun. They have to be trying to draw them off sides. Even catch it and take it like a go. I don't know.
That's what I thought. I thought that's probably not going to work, bud. And then they snapped the ball, and I was like, oh.
And like I said, then your quarterback gets hurt.
Right. Yeah. That's the insult to injury, right? So, or the injury to insult at that point. But you hate to see that. You know, like we said, Kenny, we're praying for you, but I hope it's nothing too crazy. It is challenging as a fan to watch that, especially after there seemed to be some promise in week 3. So we can probably jump back to week 3, and then I got a question about us moving forward.
Okay.
But week 3 felt like, against Las Vegas, felt like, okay, there they are. Yep. All right, okay.
But it's still a slow start again, though. It was a slow start offensively. Now, Kenny did throw 2 touchdowns, and they did do, like, it was one of those ones, again, where the defense was, again, they're carrying you. Just do your job, offense. And I thought they did offensively do it.
Yep.
They moved the ball. They hit the big shot. They at least gave the defense something. Now, from what I remember too, I don't think the Raiders helped. I mean, it felt like they were doing everything they could to help this. I mean, like, why are you not running the ball? The things that you were doing, it felt really weird to me.
Sure.
But, you know, either way, a big win. You go on the road to Pittsburgh West, right? I mean, all the fans that were there is awesome. And I love it for the Steelers to get that win, because that was a test, right? You're coming back and you're seeing what you got, and you go on the road and you beat a team that, you know, maybe isn't very good. You're supposed to win, and you do. Mm-hmm. You know, so that was big. I just this one still is just kind of sitting on me a little bit.
Yeah. What was your expectation walking into week 4, especially coming out of a win like that? To where, like, okay, you know what? It wasn't as pretty as you would want it. It wasn't dominant, but like, you know, they held it down.
Doesn't matter. They're getting to 3-1. Yeah. I felt more confident this week than I did last week.
So did I.
With the injuries that they have on offense, I was like, our defense is going to go nuts. I mean, maybe Kenny and the offense is starting to get some clicks, right? Yeah. They're getting 2 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
You know, you just felt good about it. And, man, it just didn't happen. Now, could the game have been different too? Like, George Pickens had his hands on a touchdown.
Yeah.
And one that wasn't easy, but I've seen him catch a lot harder ones.
Yeah.
The young man wants to get on top of people and talk a lot over people and be that guy. You got to make those plays.
Yeah.
You got to make those plays.
Yeah.
And then how much is the game? I guess my point in saying that is, how is the game different if he scores a touchdown there?
I think it's very different, man.
You know,
and
I totally agree.
Not necessarily because of the math, right? Yes, obviously that helps, but the momentum.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, okay, we can do this. We're not just trying to get close for Boz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what it feels like sometimes. We're just trying to get within Boz's. Just get across the 50 so Boz kick a 50-some yarder. Right. That's what it feels like a lot.
There's a couple of plays in the Raiders game that I wanted to touch on. Primarily the roughing the passer call on Minkah.
Oh.
From, again.
Awful call.
I'll be
referees, you missed that one.
I will be the first person to admit my limited knowledge on the sport in which
you don't have to have knowledge. That wasn't a penalty.
What are you to do when you're trying to tackle quarterback?
Exactly what he did.
That's what I'm saying.
Do exactly what he did. That was just an awful call. It should not have.
You go to the sideline. Coach T's tell him every time. Just do that every time.
Everyone did. Like, the announcer said it. The special referee said it. I mean, not one person thought that was a penalty.
Yeah,
Garoppolo kind of laid there for a second to sell it.
Hey, I would too. I mean, we're trying to win, man. You know what I'm saying?
Minkah, you did everything right.
Yeah.
Everything. Keep playing the game the right way. But I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
Does it feel good to talk about the refs now that they can't find you?
Yes. Yes, it does. And I usually don't have a problem with referees. But when it's like that, oh.
Listen, I subscribe to the notion where I try to give everybody the benefit of doubt. All right? So, yes, the refs are the easy ones to pick on. They botch some stuff. But I can't imagine having their job. That one, a little left. I don't know about that one. But listen, they got a lot of stuff they got to focus on. But that blew my mind.
You blew it. You blew it. You blew it.
So this is the second beer that we're walking into right here from Mr. Rambo, holding it down. Oh, Devlin Rambo, which has got to be the dopest name of anybody that's sent in a beer. I mean, thank you for everybody who sent one in.
Yes,
but Devlin Rambo, you understand.
Thank you.
All right, so this second beer is the General Sherman IPA from Tioga Sequoia Brewing. All right, and so this is what Tioga Sequoia says. The Sherman is a true West Coast IPA brewed with Simcoe, Mosaic, and Citra hops from start to finish. Our IPA stands tall with its dry, floral, and citrus-like flavor and aroma. Like its namesake, there is no equal.
Okay.
So it's named after something that is not equal to anything else, the Tioga Sequoia.
So this is a West Coast citrus.
I also I might have said this wrong. So this is spelt Tioga. This is Tioga. Listen, no one's expecting me to read this right anyway. Who cares? All right. Sorry, man.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, dude. 7.5% is what we're.
Come on, Rambo. What are you doing to us?
Yeah, Rambo.
Let me see that guy.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, his name is Rambo. That's on us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to sit down with Rambo and drink a Miller Lite. You're going to sit down with Rambo and drink one of these Sherms.
I'm going to crack it open with my knife. My Bowie knife.
Yeah, you are. I like that. I think West Coast IPA over New England all day.
But why is that one not piney? The other one was piney at West Coast.
Different hops.
Pack it in, pack it out. Yeah, listen, I hear you.
What's the piney hop then?
Wow. That's delightful.
I like that one better than this one.
I do too.
That's 8 for me.
I do too.
Rambo. No misses yet, Rambo. Rambo actually also gave a question. If you want to answer any.
Sure.
It says, for both of you, it's a faith question. Look at this. You came to the right guys. When in your life did you start to become more serious or committed to God? Was there anything specific that shaped that decision? Rambo wants to know.
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say before, we're definitely get to that.
Yeah.
The General Sherman, which is what this is.
Mm-hmm.
The General Sherman tree in Sequoia National Park is the largest living tree on Earth.
Makes sense.
Our General Sherman IPO is crafted to embody the beauty and grandeur of this great sequoia. Sherman is a true West Coast brew. Okay, you already did that, but it's named after the oldest tree.
Have you ever seen have you been to the redwoods, dude? They're unreal.
I would love to.
They are unreal.
Yeah, the big sequoias.
They feel fake.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's like the Grand Canyon. When you look at the Grand Canyon, you're like, you can't like process it all.
Because we try and process the beauty of God.
Look at you, man.
I know, right? Okay, question again. When did we
become more serious or committed to God? Was there anything specific that shaped that decision? When did we take our faith seriously? When did we decide to do that?
I would say, I always took it serious, but I would say I got more serious probably... I don't know, 12 years ago, I got more serious. And then even more serious 6 years ago or so, something like that. Like when I really was like, okay, I want to dive in even more. I want to be more knowledgeable. I want to be more on fire for Jesus and trying to read the Bible and study the Bible instead of just, and I love when you and I have talked about it in the past, it's like, do I believe in Jesus or do I want to follow Jesus? And I went from believing in my faith and believing in Jesus to truly following and trying to walk in the footsteps and try and like know him more, and even more than just following, like trying to know him and know my faith and know the Bible and all that kind of stuff. So I would say for me, it just was really got more serious and extra committed to it, 6-7 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I would feel like I was raised in the church, but the moment I realized I could make my own decisions, I did.
Yeah. And
all my decisions were just proved how much of an idiot I was. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, so that led me down paths, man, that just really, I chose my own demise very quickly, led me to being homeless for a while, man. It was just, I hit rock bottom, and I had enough evidence in my life that when somebody told me that I was in need of a savior, I was like, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I watched somebody in my life, show me what that meant. Not just explain it like intellectually, like this is it. Like I had to see it. I'm naturally very skeptical, right? And so when it came to my faith, it was like, I hear what you're saying, right? And we've talked about this plenty of times. Like, I hear what you're saying, man, but like, is this for human beings? And if so, man, I got to see how this impacts your daily life. And I saw a guy who walked in a way that I was like, listen, man, I remember saying this to him. I'm like, I don't know about all this Jesus stuff, but if this is the product of that, I'm very interested, right? Yep. And it has like to your point, you start reading scriptures, you start explaining, like people start explaining it to you because you need that, man. Because it, as simple as it is, it can be kind of complex in its explanation. So for me, it was that, man. When I was 19, I surrendered unto Jesus, and I've been just trying to replicate that in other people. That moment in my life, I've been trying to replicate that because there's a freedom in it, man. It's not like we're not do's and don'ts here, man. We just believe it that that's the fullness of life. And I think if you've experienced it, regardless of what you experience your fullness of life in, you'd want to share that with somebody. Right. It'd be community. It'd be like you want to share a good restaurant. For me, it was my relationship with the creator of the universe who loved me enough to die for me. So, but it took me running my life into the ground. So, yeah.
I hear you. So that's good. I mean, I think you did too, but for me too, it was like at some point my wife and I were praying for like godly friends, like good people in our lives. And I think that's so, we've talked about on this show before, and we've talked about other times that it's so important to have good people in your life, that obviously believe in the same thing, but can challenge you, but can also love you no matter what you are, who you are, what you do or say or anything. They're there for you. And so we prayed hard for that, and we were blessed tremendously with great people in our lives, you guys, and even guys like Justin who can't make black and tans.
It's okay, man. We're praying for him.
Still love him to death, but
what a good setup.
But no, just good people. And so I just know that prayer was answered for my wife and I, to have good people in our life. And so that has been such a blessing, and golly, I can't even begin to explain how thankful we are for that.
Yeah, man. I'll wrap up this tag team sermon here with like, it's every human being's desire, man, to be fully known, fully loved, despite what's known. Right. And so if that is like the faith journey is something, man, you are walking on, like, ask the questions. Don't be afraid to doubt God. If it's true, it'll be true, regardless of how you feel about it. Right. But find people to walk with. Man, you got like, you just can't do it alone. That's for me, I don't know if I've ever explained this. I might have to some people in the live show, but for me, the only reason I do this show was because my big brother mentioned it to me. I was like, hey, would you want to do this? I'm like, any other person, I would not sit and talk about football. I'm not the guy you want doing that, guys. You've learned this so far, right? But also, I thought it was a beautiful opportunity for you to share with the people that have kind of rode with you your whole career, an example community. That's the only reason why I'm out here pushing these buttons, man. Yeah. And so it is something, man, like what you guys see on this show every week or a couple of weeks, whenever we do it. It's just the closest we can get to invite you guys into something that God's blessed us with, that we prayed for, and that we hope that you guys have in your life as well, as the people who love you and that you guys can do life with. So, amen. Yeah. So thanks, Rambo.
Question.
Yeah, and we can get back to some football for all the people that got upset that we were doing that.
Yeah, fast forward into all that. It's all right. Go back and check it out.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Might have dropped a nugget in there.
Yeah, some gems. Yeah.
Talk about Justin. Anytime you talk about Justin, you got to hear about that.
Yeah, we talked way too long about Jesus and not long enough about Taylor Swift. Here she is. Right. Yes.
Again, we have no problem with Taylor Swift or Swifties.
It's true. Yes.
We have no issues with it. We are fans.
I will say this about Taylor Swift, so you can skip over this part too if you guys hate the Taylor Swift stuff. I've used to work at a concert venue. I've seen hundreds. I used to be a touring musician. Mm-hmm. I might have seen thousands of live shows.
Yeah.
She is the best live performer I've ever seen.
Wow.
I only knew like 7 of her songs, but I've never seen a live show like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I saw Radiohead. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
Yeah. It was unreal. So, if you like live shows, just out of the respect, if you can afford the tickets, go for it. But, yeah.
No.
But.
That's good. Anyway, yeah. I don't know if we have anything else to talk about this game. I'm trying to figure out, like, if there's anything else. You know, the other unique thing, if you think about that 4th and 1, besides, like, the play call, if they kick the field goal there, they're only down 6.
I know.
Interesting thought.
I'm always curious about the psyche of you guys playing it. So you kick the field goal, you get it because Boz can't miss, right?
Yep.
You're not executing what you want to execute. That's clear, right? Does you being a score away, how does that shift in your guys' belief system on the sideline? Are you still like, all right, cool, man, we still can't get nothing going, who cares?
No,
or is that like, okay, guys, we're in this?
If you're one score down, or if you're 3 and you go from 3 to 2, it's like, hey, if you're 2, you're like, hey, we're 1 away. And if you're at 1, any kind of 1 score, 8 or less, you're like, all it takes is 1. I mean, it could be a defensive touchdown, it could be a punt, it could be anything. So if you're 1 score away, which is why, I mean, I get what Mike's trying to do. It's 4th and 1. You've got momentum. You're going. I mean, I've got to believe. I don't know, but I got to believe that unless Coach Tomlin knew what play was being called, he has to be mad at what would happen, because all the momentum is shifting to them.
Yeah,
we're driving. We're going to cut it from 2 to 1 score. 4th and 1. I don't hate going for it. I don't. Because you're kind of setting, like, you're letting the team, Houston, know, you're letting our team know that here we come. Mm-hmm. I don't hate it, because even if you don't get it, you did something to go get it, right?
Right.
And good, that's a good throw. Oh, he dropped it though. And so I don't hate what they did. I hate the play call, but I don't hate going for it.
Sure.
And so, I know why. I feel like I know why Mike didn't kick it, because it's like we're going to go score a touchdown, and now we're right in it. Because you could have kicked the field goal there, and been 6, and at least you're close to this, that, and the other. But I don't hate going for it. But I gotta believe that when again, it's during a timeout, so I don't know, because it's a play call. Like, Mike has to know what play was called. Yeah, and so he had to be okay with it.
I believe he did say in the presser that there was some level of discrepancy on where he thought the ball was being placed versus where it actually got placed. They had maybe...
Oh, he thought it was 4th and longer than it should have been?
So they called a timeout.
I mean, that sounds like, I don't know about that.
So,
I mean,
that was in the presser to the press. Hence presser, right? So, either way, man. Either way,
you're standing right there. You see it, like so. Then I guess my question would be, was a sneak called, or some sort of a play called, like a run, and then all of a sudden you realized it was longer. It was a 4th and like a full 1 as compared to a 4th and a half of 1.
Sure.
So you called timeout, and then you decide, okay, we have to throw it now. So you're telling me that if it's what? So if it's 1 yard, 3 feet, you didn't know it was, say it was a full 1. You didn't know it was a full 1. You thought it was half a 1. So you thought it was 2 feet instead of 3 feet. So you're telling me you can't get your running back, that 1 foot is not, I've
never scored a touchdown or stepped on. I never suited up, dog. I don't know.
That push play sure hasn't been is like batting 1,000 right now.
Well, and that's the thing. Like,
put Big Naj back behind you and just push.
That's what I'm saying. And I think Kenny with the sneak is, I don't know why we're not using the sneak like the Eagles are, man. Because Kenny with the sneak, I feel like he's got enough dog in him to get through there. You get Naj behind
pushing. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Get Naj or Connor Hayward back there push until they outlaw that. Why isn't every team in the league doing that for 1 yard?
We talked about this on the show last year. That I wouldn't be surprised if that thing doesn't get outlawed.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's almost unstoppable, and it seems like
I don't think it would. I mean,
I don't know. It's not really I don't even know why. I don't know why you would outlaw it because it's. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why. But
it feels like a cheat code, but I think it keeps the pace of play. So I think stuff like that, keeps it going.
Either way, we're gonna harp on it. Listen, that play is gonna be talked about around here for a week at least.
What is there? Okay, so every Yinzer and sports outlet is gonna just absolutely obliterate that play call and the one who called it.
For sure.
Is there any positive silver lining about that call that we can leave? Because
no.
Okay, that's it.
None.
This is all negative.
None.
Okay,
and your quarterback got hurt. I mean, it's not even negative. It's like what's above negative? Double negative, which would be positive.
It would be below negative.
Okay, double negative. That's a positive.
It'd be duh green.
Because if it doesn't work and he gets sacked and you lose the yards and he's walking off the field and he's fine,
it's a bag of L's.
You're
it's
like,
just a whole bag of L's.
Lost. Yeah. Everything stinks. It is what it is. But the fact that he gets hurt on top of it, and who knows what it is, that makes it. He should have been already home getting an MRI. Because of they're playing.
You saw me trying to give the benefit of the doubt, folks. You saw me try to do it.
I saw you.
That's what I'm saying.
I
feel the way you feel, man. I feel the way you feel.
If they would have ran it with the back and if they would have done what you think, even if they would have done that shot I talked about, hard play action, throw it deep, and it's incomplete, I would have been like, you know what, you took a shot, you tried, you did what I thought could have happened, but
wasn't it?
That wasn't it.
All right, so moving forward then, because you got Baltimore, which will not be easy next week. Is this kind of like a trap game, do you think? And you think you'll bounce back against the opponent? Because again, it was one of those things, you and I both said it. It was, hey man, this kind of felt like a layup in comparison to Las Vegas.
Oh boy. It's at home, right? In Pittsburgh.
Yep.
That helps. And listen, we have our defense is always going to keep us in the games. And yeah, there was some play like. Okay, I want to get back to this because I just thought of something I don't want to forget. Okay. At the end of the game, when they threw the halfback pass for a touchdown, that's when that's adding insult to injury. Like anytime you throw like to a lineman or you do like that little gadgety trick play, and it like at the end of games because you're winning, that's like, all right, you can put a little salt in them. Like that is like, yes, you are, and it makes you soft. When I saw that, I was just like, I was mad. But anyway, my point is, so next week, Baltimore coming in. I think your defense keeps you in the game. It always does. I know people are going to be like, oh, they gave up 30, whatever. But listen, they got worn out, man. They were out there doing their thing.
Yeah.
And even if they give up that opening drive, like they still stood up, later in as the game moved on, held them to field goals. But, I mean, I don't know how healthy is Baltimore. I know they were down last week. Like I said, I didn't see anything. I know they beat Cleveland today, correct?
Yeah, I mean,
but Cleveland didn't have Deshaun. I don't know how good Baltimore's defense is. They have Lamar Jackson, who is an absolute freak.
Yeah.
Ran for a couple touchdowns today. Who we have talked about on this show before as being a phenomenal football player.
Yes.
So I don't know. It makes me nervous. It really does. I don't think Baltimore's going to come in here and be like, because it's Ravens week.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what records are. I don't think they're going to come in and lay down. They're not going to take Steelers lightly. I promise you that.
Yeah. Especially with this defense.
Yeah, no way. So I don't know. And then we'll see what, the way that Kenny left the game and then left the field, I can't imagine he's playing. Can't imagine. And you know what it's going to so it's going to go back to Mitch.
Yeah.
And listen, do I believe that Mitch can get it done? Yeah. I mean, listen, it hasn't been great so far. And now, again, is that the quarterback's fault? Is it the coordinator's fault? Who is it? But stuff hasn't been working, so might as well throw a little wrinkle into something.
Yeah.
I don't know what that wrinkle is, but, Mitch, if it's you, bud, go get it. Figure out something.
I want to see Mitch ball out, man.
I would love to
I want to see
Mitch
Kenny ball. I want to see the Steelers play like the Steelers.
I know.
You know what I mean? I understand you working stuff out. My guys are working stuff out there. I understand that. But I know, regardless of how frustrated the city might get, from what I know about the men in that locker room, no one's more frustrated than them. They know what they have. And so I'm excited to see an opportunity to for them to put it together next week.
Yeah, it'll be. Listen, it's going to be a big one for them. They've got to go get it. And
this is right before the bye, man.
So they're buying next after that. So it's Baltimore then the bye.
Yeah. Did you?
So that'd be good for if Kenny truly is down. Maybe that's the best thing. Maybe they need to let Kenny sit out, and then you have 2 weeks. So you get to, maybe it is good. Maybe you just
regardless of what it
take this one. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, Joe Burrow's been going through a calf injury, and all that money just falling right away by the wayside. They got.
Hey man, you gotta play him.
Destroyed.
What was the final score?
I don't know, but it was
whole lotta to nothing.
They lost.
Whole lotta to whole little.
Well, Joe, I don't know what's going on with Joe. If he's that hurt and he's not playing well, or if
he's
got all that money in his pockets.
Good 27-3. All that money weighing him down.
I'm wondering. When was the last time they played a game and he didn't have a touchdown pass?
Dude, he's a lethal quarterback, dude. That's why this is wild.
Chase at the end of the game said, "I'm always open."
I'm always, yeah. But I mean, that's what you want your receiver saying, right?
Hey.
You want.
Been there, done that.
Right. That's funny. Well, let's do this final beer here, man.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to talk about much else.
Yeah, dude. Yes, it is. So this one was
this game.
This was sent in by all IPAs. See, here's the thing, man. People watch this show and they know you love IPAs, so the only thing that gets sent in is IPAs.
Send in stouts. Send in stouts.
So this is sent in. I believe this was sent in. I think you acquired this one. Brew Gentlemen?
Yeah, they got
okay. All right, so this is from Brew Gentlemen.
Okay.
This is Akamai. Yeah, maybe. Akamai?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I didn't set the beer cam today. Sorry, guys. I don't know. That's what it is. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is a double IPA.
Ooh.
Doubling them up. Yeah, that looks dense.
We do have a couple, we have a few new beers over there we need to get into.
Yeah. And we have a bunch.
We'll be doing an episode next week, I guess, with the Baltimore game.
Yeah, we are. And we actually have we should have a surprise sent in. Pouncey set something up for us.
Pouncey set something up?
So I'll preface it.
Pounce.
I'll preface it. I get a call from legendary, I believe, future Hall of Fame center, Marquise Pouncey. You're good friend. And he says, I got your number from this future Hall of Fame quarterback we both know. And he got me in contact with, he was somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'll spoil it. And he set us up with a little treat.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So.
All right.
Yeah. So Pounce. this is
my guy.
Akamai. I'm sorry, Brew Gentlemen. I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's a double IPA made with a blend of American hops. And I'm going to tell you what that blend is, though. 8.2%.
Jeez, we're going strong tonight.
Listen, dude.
Tucking us into bed early.
Yeah.
This is like the Steelers offense.
Come on, man.
Are we recording still? My bad. I got tucked in early. You think that's Carson's son? Jeez.
I look just like him.
I said, gotta be, right? Oh.
Feels like a double.
See, I don't think that tastes like a double. Oh, there it is. Aftertaste is. Yeah.
A little dense. So Mahomes' dad played for the Mets?
Yeah.
Is that what we're getting? Okay. So we're watching the game here, folks, and they're playing home videos of Patrick when he was a kid.
That was okay. 6.5. It's okay. I mean, I don't hate it. Just not.
I'll do 6 because I'm just not an IPA guy.
You're an IPA guy. You're not. Well,
I.
That's not a good throw, Patrick Mahomes.
That's an interception. That's the wrong team. That's what that was.
Yeah, that's just one of those ones. Yeah, he just babied it. He knew it.
Yep.
Even the best.
What's that feeling like from a quarterback?
The best are human.
You know what I mean?
Even the best are human.
Yeah, it's true. As soon as you let it go.
Yeah, it does. As soon as you let it go, you want to be on a string. Like, come on back here, ball.
It's like when you shoot a basketball.
Come on back here,
and
ball.
As soon as you let go, you're like, that's trash.
Because he had it. I mean, he kind of had it. Yeah. It's just like it's like, no. Like, right.
And you're helpless.
Right now, he's like, no.
Yeah. He knows it.
No. Because he needed another, like, 3 feet. Like, it wasn't like, throw the ball. Oh, well, he said a word.
You censored his, yeah.
He said a word that we don't say on the show.
Some of our guests do.
Jerome. Yes. Well, no, that we would never allow someone to say that word.
No.
Not that word.
I think Debo got away with one.
Did he get away with one?
Yeah.
Oh, Debo, say something on our show again. Never invited back.
Well, hey, man.
All right.
I will say this. We worked out the cookbook. We're gonna do a pre-order. We're gonna do another one before the holidays. We said we've been doing it. You sold the last one out in 6 hours. So we had a second drop.
Y'all are awesome. Thank you, guys.
And we got a lot more for the second drop, and you sold them out in 6 hours. So
that's crazy.
By the time that this airs, Monday night, so it's Sunday now, it's Monday night, there will be a pre-order available that you can go, and we're going to make sure everybody who wants one is able to get one on this last run. All right, they're going to ship out later this month. But
by pre-order, people just order it, and if they...
Yeah.
How long do they have to order it?
So we're going to have a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
We're going to keep it open for a couple weeks. They'll ship out later in the month. But you can go. You can order it. It'll be live.
I signed like almost 200 of the last round.
You signed a whole lot of.
I can't sign all of them, but I signed a lot of them.
Yeah, a whole lot of. Yes. So we make that available for you guys. The link is going to be in the description below. And we'll make another announcement about it. So make sure you guys can get it, especially before the holidays.
Yeah. By the way, I got a text from Pastor Jamie, and he was like, love the cookbook. He goes, Becca and I are doing it we're making a recipe every week. He goes, this week's chorizo. Was it chorizo something this week? Yeah.
Yeah, it was all the Houstons, like the barbecue ribs, the chorizo,
so I was
queso.
like, oh, it sounds so good.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you to everybody for buying that. Evan and Spence, you guys did an amazing job with that, and what a cool thing.
Yeah, man, it really is. So we appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate you guys' support, and we appreciate you guys. We're getting tagged in a lot of the recipes, man. So
are people saying they've done it? Oh, good.
Yeah, they're taking pictures of it, man. Continue to do that. We'll have.
Do their pictures look as good as your pictures? We just missed them.
Some of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
I photographed.
Hopefully, people are like enjoying it. Like they're enjoying the because hopefully they're either cooking with somebody or they're sharing it with somebody because it's the togetherness and everything. So I'm hoping that people just really truly are loving it.
Yeah.
That was the point of it.
That's the whole point is to give the people who support this show something cool and another way to feel a part of what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Because we can't hang out at your guys' house.
Right. I mean, great food is always a bonus and a plus, but the time that you can spend with someone cooking it or with someone eating it, whatever, that's what means the most. So, and we've been talking, you and I.
Yes.
About because people have asked for it. Mm-hmm. They've asked many times for us to do a live broadcast, live stream.
Yes.
So we'll actually watch the game at the same time as you guys. It might be tricky to do, but we are talking about trying to do it.
Yes.
We're not guaranteeing anything, but we may give it a shot.
We're teasing out the logistics, see if we can't do it. Because again,
who's in the shot? Coda, you're in the shot.
It's in the shot. Coda, you're in the shot.
Coda, you're in the shot.
In the shot, Coda.
Still in the shot.
She don't care.
Scratching.
Yeah, so we're looking at we're looking at how we can do that for you guys as well. So stay plugged into all the social channels. Like I said, at Footbahlin with Ben on Instagram. Obviously, this channel. We appreciate your guys' time and support, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Come here.
Hopefully,
look
at that.
Z.
The punching.
Say bye. You say bye? Oh, I know. You say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay. So, all right. Oh, do we say bye?
Yep.
All right. Thanks, everybody. See you.